Yeah,
let me get the
just
floor.
saying.
Yo, let me
You
get the
probably,
floor.
yeah,
God
go,
soldier,
go.
can you hear me?
Who is it?
This Dante.
Yeah, go. Yeah, oh man, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not trying to hear it. You
Let's
know,
hear him. Let's hear him, man. Come on, please.
no, that's that other
Let's hear
guy.
Dante.
That guy, the
Okay,
other guy,
Dante.
the
I
other
ain't even heard Dante forever.
Hey,
I heard
say,
Dante for like 3 or 4 months.
that ain't Dante, man. That's that other
Yeah,
dude.
I think it was, man.
No, look, just listen to what he got to say. Look,
It's your channel. It's your channel. Do what you want. But I
hey,
think that
hey,
was
hey,
Dante. I
check
think
this out.
Dante.
Hey, God soldier, I'm gonna tell you. Look, check this out. Y'all know this me. So look, number one, a lot of y'all got this confused. So when y'all keep saying that Dante started this, I don't want to take it personal. Noel, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Now look, from the get go, you said you wasn't Blue Blanco, right?
So,
No,
are
no.
you are you coming out here to say that I'm Blue Blanco still?
You said that you wasn't Blue Blanco, right? So
What
check this out.
are you
Check
still
this out.
coming out?
No, listen. Check this out, because
See, here we go again. I try to give this guy an opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
You
That
know,
sounds like it was Dante.
That's why I let him on. I let him on. I let him on.
Oh,
But he wants to come and control the narrative and try to flip the script. We're past the point. I'm not Blue Blanco.
okay.
If I was Blue Blanco, how come you haven't sued me or found? Show me some proof that I'm Blue Blanco. Show me.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you like this. Give me all the fucking IP addresses you have, and I will provide all my IP addresses. And let's meet somewhere. And
Yeah.
I put whatever amount of money you want to put anywhere, and I guarantee you I'm not Blue Blanco. Any kind of amount of money you want to put, let's back it up that way. Let's stop with the oh you're Blue Blanco and let's cut that shit out already. We need to cut that out. I'm not Blue Blanco. And what do you
No
got to
will.
say? What do you got to say? How am I done? How what do you got to say? Speak, Dante. You are here. Ain't nobody hiding. Ain't nobody trying to
the thing.
stop.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Okay,
You
here's the
keep
thing.
saying that. Hey, young blood. You can you hear me, young
Yeah.
blood?
I
Now,
hear you.
if I get disrespectful, he got every right to put me off, right?
You right.
Okay, so watch this. I ain't gonna be disrespectful. So check this out. Check this out. I want to talk to young blood. Young blood, check this out. Before the doxing happened, right?
Uh huh.
When my wife information started getting put on there and my kids information under Blue Blanco, Noel was posting it. And I said, Noel, if you ain't Blue Blanco and you ain't with it, why you letting it come on public? And that's when the war started. I didn't hit Noel first. He let Blue Blanco do that. So that's when I said, oh, so you with it. Why didn't you shut it down? Because all you have to do is just delete it and hide the person.
Okay, I stopped
Yeah.
them right there. I stopped them right there. Okay, we had this conversation already offline. I told him, look, whatever he's doing to you, he can easily do it to me. You heard God Soldier. What did God Soldier say right now? I don't want no beef with Blue Blanco. I don't want no beef
Yeah.
with Blue Blanco. So
You know what? You know
if
what?
if he's making you feel this type of way, why would I go against somebody that's trying to help me out?
Yeah. You
I,
know what? Hey, Noel.
go,
Noel.
go ahead, young blood.
You. I think. And this is my opinion. I think what he's saying is that if a comment comes up and somebody's personal business is put out, it should be deleted so the public viewers can't see it.
I totally agree with that, young blood. I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Okay.
You see, I've never God can strike me down, young blood, if I'm blue blanco. If I'm blue
Yeah.
blanco,
And-
if I'm blue blanco, may God strike me down and God forbid me, man. May God just take
yeah.
me out.
And I
Like
believe you.
blue
I mean,
blanco.
I believe you. But I think what Dante is saying is that by this guy named Blue Blanco putting the comment on about personal business, it should have been deleted. Now that's where I think the ref came in at.
Yeah, yeah. But see, the thing is, at the time, me and Dante were already not in good terms.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
we were already seeing each other as oppositions.
Yeah.
So if somebody is helping me out and got information on you, I'm gonna take that help. You got 20, 30 people helping you out.
Yeah.
If you didn't come out, nobody,
Yeah.
you know, Blue Blanco is I don't know who Blue Blanco is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and try to let this guy control the narrative of trying to paint me of who Blue Blanco is. We
Yeah.
done.
I understand totally, but I think what he was saying is that Blue Blanco putting his personal information, people who wasn't involved in it out like that, will cause a big fallout. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, see, but the thing is, young blood, I don't have no control of anybody else.
Yeah, and I know, and I understand.
So
About
that,
because
that's like me. That's like me controlling somebody else and be like, hey, if this guy is posting somebody's address, all I can do is tell him, hey, don't post it.
yeah, yeah, you're right.
You know,
I agree with. Yeah,
but at the,
because
at the
because that was a problem anyway. People putting people personal addresses on there and their houses and saying they know your kids and all that. That's just taking it too far.
see,
Because these people is not involved in what we're talking about.
yeah, see,
Our wives and kids is not involved in this podcast.
the thing is, this is the thing, young blood. Blue Blanco and Dante had something going on. I don't know what beef they had. So
Yeah,
when I came into the play, it's like I'm the middle pawn.
yeah,
Dante Dante couldn't get a hold of Blanco, so now his energy towards me. I'm Blanco now.
yeah.
I'm Blue
He's
Blanco.
probably yeah. He probably was upset by Blue Blanco comment being on your podcast, showing personal information. That's what I believe it was.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's out of my control.
Hey, hold up. Look, this shit is look, Noel, check this out. I'm not even mad at you. You might think I hate you or something. Man, this shit is the internet. This shit is not real, man. You really think this ain't no real shit? You think because Blue Blanco did that, I want to take it out on you? The only issue is still to this day, Noel, I don't care. Listen, the only issue that I had with you is when you didn't hide that comment. So I said, oh, he's with it. But I still didn't want to, which I said, okay, Noel don't know the rules. Noel must just, he new to this content thing and he must have didn't know. But when we had that conversation, I said, yo, Noel, you can't do that. And I just seen when you talk about, oh, they was ganging up on me. I understand that, but this is content, Noel. This is I never when you came to them panels. when it was 20 versus you, nobody leaked your information. Nobody put no personal information out there. It was content. That's what it's supposed to be. I don't, before you came out nowhere, do you know how many people was coming out trying to expose me, saying, oh, Dante tell fake predators? This shit been going on for 4 years. Been going on for 4 years. You wasn't the first person, but you was the first person that allowed somebody to dox me. I still got cats been making videos about me for since what for 4 years. So it wasn't nothing serious when you went and got hips. I was like, okay, cool. That's I told you.
Yeah.
I kept saying I kept.
See, you trying to sound like a victim, man. You trying to sound like a victim. You
Yeah.
know, you're trying to sound like a victim. You're trying to control the narrative as a victim. Uh, we're past that doxing point. We're past because you got doxied, I got doxied. So it's we're past that point. You know, because it's not like I didn't get doxed either. You posted pictures of my property on your channel. You posted pictures of my kids. I never once did that on none of my content. I never promoted that type of stuff. You called me everything in the books. We've had when me, you, and Noonie were on that on three-way. We had squashed the beef. That was the end of it. We have said, hey, this is what we're going to be able to say, and this is what you're going to. This is the drawing line right here. These are the lines that we're not going to cross. So we said our piece that day. But you continued, and you continued, and you continued. Now you're trying to continue as trying to portray as a victim. A victim of what? Of doxing? You can't complain of something that happened to me as well. And I'm not even complaining about that. If you're coming out here to try to complain about being doxied, I was doxied as well. And you continued after I told everybody else in the comments, please stop doing that. You still continued. You still continued. You weren't happy with letting bygones be bygones. You were still instigating. And now you want to portray like the victim.
Why you keep muting me? Young blood,
No,
didn't I say I wasn't gonna disrespect
I
him?
don't.
But
I
he
don't want
keep
to.
muting me.
I don't want to be talking over each other.
Why? But you keep on. You keep saying, "Yo." When we said bygones is bygones, that was before the doxing. The doxing happened right after bygones are bygones. When you allow.
But see, we're coming back to the doxing, man. If your only complaint is about doxing, I got doxy too. So that would be called equal.
So
You got
Noel, you saying about when they put your information out?
yeah. I mean, he kept on doing it as Rebel Rider. He was doing it on my lives. I got
Oh,
live. I got lives where he was putting my address on my lives. Okay,
okay,
so
okay,
all,
okay. That was before I start watching it. Then.
yeah, all this doxing is like, okay, you dox me, I doxed you. What else is there?
Oh, so doxing. That mean that people putting people personal information out. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yes,
Okay, okay. So
yes,
now I understand what doxing actually means. Okay.
yes.
Because see, that's what I was saying. Why was people putting personal information out instead of just going at one another? But when you start putting like people family involved, they not even involved in it, or using someone's name that's not on the channel. Uh, that's not right. You know what I'm talking about?
exactly. Exactly. So
So
I
yeah, that's
no,
what had me.
I get the doxing. I get it. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. But at the same time,
Okay.
I'm not the person that was doing the doxing.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. But I honestly think what he's talking about is that, just say you have a comment come on, the content creator controls, the comment, whatever. I don't know, can someone not show it? I don't know, or does
Hey,
it just automatically comes on and
hold
we
on,
can't, do
young
the
blood.
people see it beforehand or what?
Young blood. He said he wanted to get past the doc. Said, okay, fine, right? We equal. Now let's bring up the racist comment. You keep calling me a racist, right?
Well, shit. What I
But
said.
Dante, you did.
No, I'm hold on. I'm gonna tell
Dante, you did
hold on.
say that now.
Oh no, no, hold on, young blood. I
Uh,
Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. You see, I'm muting him because he's looking for narrative after narrative after narrative. Okay. Okay. We're past the doxing. Okay. Let's just make everybody aware and clear that we're past the doxing.
okay.
We're past. I mean, we're past the doxing.
Yeah.
It's tick for tack. Okay. He got doxed. I got doxed. My link, my preferred, my personal information got leaked. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the end of the story.
Can I ask a question? Who got docs first?
I don't even know.
Okay.
I got
That's what I'm
docs
saying.
first. I
'Cause
got docs
Now I
first.
know he said, become racist, and which I did too because of the comment that he made on the podcast.
But check this out. The
And I
doxing,
know it's content.
yeah, the
Uh
doxing,
huh.
I don't even know where the fuck this dude lives at.
Yeah.
I could care less about it because it was never about him.
Yeah.
It was never about Dante or anybody else.
Yeah.
My videos were always starting the Alabama booty bandit Mark Moore. Always
Yeah. That's what we've been on.
Alabama prison booty bandit Mark Moore. Those were always my content.
Yeah.
Now, once I started being called a rapist, a dope fiend, I never slandered this man's name. The only thing I said was, "Hey, you're a deadbeat dad for not paying your child support." I didn't go out there looking for dirt on this guy. He calls me one day. Well, you know how much I'm worth. You're researching me. You know my LLCs. I'm like, bro, you're thinking too highly of yourself. I could care less of what you got.
Yeah.
See, nowhere there you
And
go. You
that's
gonna keep
common.
muting me. You
Now
gonna
go
keep
ahead.
Like
muting
I
me.
said,
Now we
I
passed,
think that was the
the
problem
document,
was
right?
So look, yeah, we
We're,
we passed that. Let's address
okay.
me being racist. Let me address being racist. So number one, I did say that, and I'm gonna double down on it. And I say it again, and I keep saying it, and I'm gonna tell you why. When I was locked up, every white guard that I came in contact was racist, and it was racist against Mexicans and black people. So, like I said, when it comes down to my relations with white racist cops, yeah, I'm racist. Yeah, I got love for a lot of white people, but there's a lot of white racist cops that I got issues with, and there's a lot of white racist dudes that I had issues with on the outside in lockup. So when I say who gives a damn about what happened to a white boy in prison, I mean that. So if anybody want to take that as me being racist, it is what it is.
What you got to say about that, young blood?
and that's understandable. And I'm different on that end because um, I have experienced a lot of racism with black officers and black guards that
Yeah, yeah.
mean that
Hey, oh,
they
hold on.
probably
You
wasn't
right,
they
young
probably
blood. You
weren't
right,
racist for.
young
Yeah,
blood.
and
You
they
right.
probably wasn't racist toward, yes, and they probably weren't racist toward me, but they would show me more privilege than they would a white guy. You see
Cause
what I'm
look,
talking about?
and look,
And that's considered racist between.
I did a live clearing that up because like I get it, Noel. You can say I'm a racist, but that's good. But Noel, you did time too. So don't act like there wasn't no white racist guards or white racist men that was against you. Now cut it out.
No, look, I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you right there real quick because I don't want to be talking over each other. The only racist people that I ever met when I was locked up, as far as being guards wise, were the
Uh-huh.
Nigerians.
Yeah.
When
And Noel, and what I'm saying is racism because, you know, I consider someone a racist is when they put a race of a people above another race of people. And, and speaking from a black man perspective, when I see this goes on, I feel sad for the one that is happening to, because it can also happen to me.
exactly,
And that's why I feel the way I feel. I feel that, hey, okay, I'm black, but if my black brothers or sisters go out and do some harm to a white person or Mexican or whoever it might be, then I consider that racism.
Now, young
And if
blood.
I'm hush hush about it, then I'm with them. So that's why I speak against this type of stuff.
Wait, young blood. See, and here's another thing with what I said with that. You got to look at the way I presented that. When I said who gives a damn what happened to a white boy in prison, right? It's because you got to look at David Mendenhall charges. And Noel, you know better too. If a guy come in there with bad charges, and you know those were straight up bad charges, who gives a damn about a baby killer? Come on,
And
man.
it happened.
That's what I'm
well,
It
saying. That,
happened.
that's why I
but we're
said.
talking
Now,
about
now
But
look. Now
we're
look.
but
talking
Right.
about
is it right?
we're, it's not. You see, I get that point. They're, but at the same time, there's other victims like Daniel Williams that are low violent, drug abusers. You know,
Yeah, and exactly. Even though, by me being incarcerated, even though if this happened to them, they're not put in there for that. This shouldn't happen, and you won't
Yeah.
have inmates or convicts that speak out against it. But two wrongs don't make a right. You know
But
what
you
I
know what,
mean?
young blood. I agree with you, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this too. Now, I am like now. I'm gonna put it like this because everybody keep asking me the same old question. Same old question. They say, Dante, do you think Mark is innocent or guilty? Right. My thing is
Okay.
this. I think Mark is guilty of indulging in activities in prison, but I don't believe that he acts. I'm not gonna say the R word because I don't want to blow the spot up, but I don't think he, you know, took it by force. Now, young blood, you was locked up with him, so you
Yeah.
could answer that question. Did Mark? Do you know if Mark ever took it?
Now, being in Alabama prison system, I have seen, I have witnessed people actually taking it from people, but majority of them are willing participants. And when I say a willing participant, is that I honestly believe that if you is drinking with the guy, if you somewhat coerce a guy in doing something that he's not willing to do, then that's what it is. It's like you're taking that.
I
If
agree.
I get if I get a guy, if I get him drunk or get him high, and he has no knowledge of what I'm about to do, then I have taken something from him that I shouldn't have taken from him, and
exactly.
And
that
that
makes
is
you guilty of that situation.
and I agree with you. And I want to make this clear too. If I thought from the first day that Mark contacted me, from the first day when he called me at 10 something that night, and I looked at the documentary and I called him back and I said, "Yo, is this really you?" He said, "Yeah, it is me." I said, "Let me call you back." And I called my wife and I said, "Hey, check this out. This is the dude I'm talking to." And she said, "What do he want?" I said, "Well, he said he just want to put his truth out, right?" So I didn't know what his truth was. So that's when he
Yeah,
did the video and he put it out. Now, I don't know if y'all watched me prior to this whole Lamarck situation, but I've been doing this for 3 years. So my whole thing is this: I'm against the R word. If I would have thought that Mark actually did the R word to a man, he wouldn't have been on there because I don't support, the dudes that violate like that, whether it's a woman, child, or man. So, but when this train left the station, I had it in my mind like, yo, I know he's guilty of being that type of guy in prison, but I don't think that he was. I think it was cats that was giving it to him willingly and things like that. But Youngblood, you did say something that just piqued my interest. And you absolutely right, because there were some cases in the MDOC prison system where they get all these dudes will be cheeking these pills and they'll chop it up and put in the dude's drink and they'll get them all disorientated and then do something to them. So yeah, that is the R word. That, so you right, but do
Yep.
Mark got them charges? And I'm not defending him because that ship done sailed already. That ship, Mark is out doing what he doing,
Well,
and
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard because you can see where he explains it through right here that
Now,
he got away from catching a case because the guy was
yeah,
shamed. So he was
yeah.
he
Now,
basically
I honestly believe, and I know that those guys was getting those guys high on this, or getting them in some type of debt, and they had to do these type of things. So, like I said beforehand on onset, if you get someone in that predicament, and you know that they have no way out, then that means you are the controller.
exactly. So just because
And
he
when
does
you be
not
the controller and do these things, you're not right. For us grabbing you, holding you down, doing it physically like that. But when you coerce a person into this, knowing this person might can't pay you these monies back or whatever, then you coerce this person or these persons into this type of situation, and then that makes you guilty of being that.
facts.
That's called like blackmailing someone.
Noel, who is this white woman on here right here,
Which white woman?
right here on the screen?
That's Mendenhall's grandmother.
That's his grandma.
What's she talking about?
Well, she just talks about just a little bit more depth of what she talked about in the documentary that you know the ex-wife was the ex-wife painted the picture of David Mendenhall being possessive and controlled, but the grandma's like, it was her, when the baby would start crying, she'd be like, here, David, get the kid. So, it made it seem like every time the kid would start crying, she would give the kid to David. So it's basically a lot of finger pointing between them. So that's why, even on that aspect, I mean, you don't even know if David really did intentionally do it or it was really an accident.
She was saying like it was an accident. Like she said that he tripped or something and the baby fell, bounced off the bed, something like that.
But you know what? You know what? Ultimately is really this. Ultimately, look, this social media